Welcome back to Blackout, House of Bob's cyberpunk adventure set in the Vantal Megaplex and powered by the Sprawl RPG system.
Hi, I'm Cristina, and I'm playing Olivia Crow, who's on the run from MassCorp while trying to figure out who's friend and who's foe.
This is Shubert. I'll be playing Bunk, the cyberfunky audio junkie, packing beats on the Vantal streets.
My name is Alex. I'll be playing Garrett, conspiracy theorist, wildcard, senior citizen.
I'm Dan. I'll be playing Tiz, the hard-nosed reporter, tracking down corruption no matter the cost.
And I'm Jake, your GM. If you want to support the show, check us out on Patreon, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, or just tell your friends about us. Roll on. Last session, you had attended the Axiom Sermon led by Dimitri. You listened to the preacher's chastising lectures, saw 2 individuals volunteer for a cleansing ritual, and bore witness to the prophetic appearance of a Blackout, an vengeful blue angel. Olivia was able to escape with Axiom acolyte Dandelion, who was convinced to share what he knew, including information suggesting the Axiom may be attempting to, or already succeeded in gaining illicit access to the Vantal electromagnetic space launch, the primary means by which humanity reaches the stars. You gave the pertinent information regarding Henry's murder to his sister and your client Adira, collected your payment, and drove off into the night. You finally have a moment to relax after a pretty intense mission with a few close calls. You'll need a bit of time to recuperate, heal, and process. I wanted to ask where you guys post up now. Did you stay in Puget Sound, or did you return to your familiar stomping grounds in Van? Where are you setting up shop, so to speak?
All right, so we got Blackcomb, we got Holly North, Van, Sunshine Coast, Cascades, Median, Puget Sound, and Carbon Moraine. I feel like that's maybe the only place maybe we haven't been, or I can't remember going there.
Yeah, you haven't been to Carbon Moraine, you haven't been to Olympia. Oh, no, sorry, in the Garrett episode, we were in Olympia.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't been to the Sunshine Coast or Blackcomb yet either.
Sunshine Coast sounds nice.
I mean, it
Sounds
sounds nice.
Yeah. It sounds expensive, IMO.
I went to a place in real life called Surfer's Paradise, and it was a shithole, so they can call it whatever you want.
Never go to any hotel named the Shangri-La.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you're just parking your RV somewhere, so it doesn't matter too much, but just what for to get an image of what your surroundings are.
Yeah, we were in Puget Sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere where we can see someone coming at us.
I feel like Sunshine Coast might be actually good, like to get on the coast. What is that like, Jake?
Is there a coast?
So there's the seawall that splits Van and the Sunshine Coast. And on the other side of the seawall, it's basically like a big refugee city.
Oh, right.
There's like these very extreme high density self-contained habitats. If you go further west, where the Gulf Islands were, that's basically like just above water still.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Salish Sea Refuge City is, and that's basically like a bunch of boats and the tops of skyscrapers that are lashed together to make a little makeshift settlements.
Cool.
So nice probably isn't the word.
Right.
Where can we go that has swanky beach houses? I want to park in front of like some rich guy's house.
That would probably be Holly North, but that might arouse suspicion.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Should park in front of your friend Jin's place. I'm sure he'd be happy to see you.
That's true. He probably has a big like parking garage too.
I believe he had a floating
No, yeah, he doesn't.
So it's going to be hard to park there.
Yeah.
He has a hover RV.
He has a hover house.
Yeah, we're going to have to get an air tugboat.
Where is the space gun located?
It's in Blackcomb, or the entrance to it anyways, in Blackcomb, at the very, very northern tip, on the top of Whistler Mountain.
Maybe we should head up there and just...
We can monitor things.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like
smart.
get a feel for the area.
Yeah. Let's do a ski trip to Whistler.
All right, let's all get our sweet matching snowsuits together.
Yeah, this has all just been an excuse to get some new swag fall threads.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. There's a lot more nature here. It's not as dense and not as built up, with the exception of kind of the main highway that leads up to the vessel breach, which is built through a mountain essentially. So it's like a big valley. And, each side of the valley is just covered in service stops and restaurants and hotels and, motels and advertisements for, what you'll get on the next exit and that kind of thing. It's basically just like a constant LCD screen the entire way down.
That sounds kind of like a good place to hide out. Like there's a lot of people just probably at like campground kind of things. Yeah,
there'd definitely be like an RV campground for sure somewhere in here. So you can pull up to one of those and, you get a nice view of, you're still kind of low, but you can see the mountains from here. There's other people that look similar to your situation, right? So like RVs that are nondescript and you don't feel like you stand out at all here. So that's probably good.
Nice.
So with the mountains as a backdrop, we'll start with Garrett. Garrett took the worst of the hits in the past little while.
Mm-hmm.
Your cybercoms are still busted up. Your leg is damaged beyond regular medical science anyway.
Oof.
You're currently using a cane, which is fine. You do have the option of replacing or fixing your leg, I should say, with cybernetics. But I believe you mentioned before that you wanted to get your cybercoms looked at for sure.
For sure, yeah.
We did establish previously that a Ripper doc, Dr. Rosie.
That's right.
Yeah, who you went to get the little one transmitter taken out of your cybercoms before.
Yeah.
So she's already been in your head at least once.
Yeah. Well, and she is again now. So, I'd like to see if I can call another favor from Rosie and hopefully get my cybercoms fixed and potentially see if she's got a, hook up for someone to deal with my leg too. So I'm not just limping around. or there's like, is it just like beyond repair?
Like you could use cybernetics to, to fix the insides basically. And, it would still look like a human leg.
Right.
But no, it's not like the bones can't be reset or anything like that at this point. They were completely shattered.
But I could get like a cybernetic leg or something.
Yeah, you could absolutely get either a simple prosthetic or if you wanted to get something fancy, that's an option too.
I think it's kind of a pair deal. You have to replace both if you're going to do that.
Right. Garrett's pretty cheap, so he'll probably just go for a simple prosthetic.
So to repair your cybercoms, we'd set it at like to repair being half the cost of buying a new set altogether. So it would be 4 cred to repair it.
Ooh. Okay.
Wait, you just got 9. You're okay.
Let's say 4 cred to like properly, completely fix it. You could probably spend less credit and we'd do a roll to see, if it's faulty or something like that, right? But
let's do that.
Sure. We'll do 2d6 plus the amount of cred that you are willing to spend, right?
Okay.
So plus 1, plus 2, or plus 3.
Okay, 2. It's going to be 2.
Such a cheapskate.
It's just a leg. Come on.
Yeah, he's got a cane. So it's like oh no, this is the cybercoms. This is why, because I've also got to pay for cybernetics.
Oh, yeah.
So if you opt for just basic prosthetics, like they won't do anything special other than just letting you walk again, then there won't be any additional cost.
Boom, done.
But if you wanted to do something like make you run super fast or whatever, or be tank treads, then that'll cost money.
Be tank treads.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay. He's not willing to pay out of his own pocket for that.
So Dr. Rosie, you've worked with her many times before. You still got 1 favor to call in. So you can roll 2d6 plus 2, spend 2 cred, and we'll see how well it goes.
I should have spent more cred. I rolled 3 plus 2, 5.
Oof.
Man, if you just spent 2 more cred, you wouldn't have had to roll at all.
I know.
So on a 6- on go under the knife, it says there have been ... complications.
Oh no. He's got the tire treads, but they're on the inside.
I really hope it's like mixed paths. So he's just like picking up random people's conversations and stuff. So he thinks he's going crazy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
So what is not successful and also a consequence?
What's the thing that Garrett would least want to happen to his body?
I don't know. I just don't even know what would happen at this point.
I think it could be that it works, but not in the way you want it to, or there's some big drawback.
He can't
or
hear,
it doesn't work at all, and maybe something bad
he can't
happens.
hear radio frequencies anymore.
Or now his actual ears are like dead and he can only communicate through his comms.
That's interesting.
Ooh.
That's kind of a neat monkey's paw sort of situation.
I think that's definitely an interesting choice, yeah, because if there's a blackout or whatever, you wouldn't be able to hear at all.
Let's do it.
And then you would have to learn sign language.
Let's do it. Yeah. He's an old man. It's only a matter of time.
And it's not like you can't communicate with us.
Cool. I like that.
You just have to shout like he normally does.
Yeah, this is your comeuppance for Bailey.
So I think maybe like when you would hit your head against a wall or something, and that was what caused the cybercoms to be damaged.
Okay.
Maybe like one of the cables or one of the bits of metal in there had actually like stuck into something important in your ear.
Shit.
And in order to like remove that, it caused some pretty significant hearing loss.
Shit.
But the cybercoms are back up, so thumbs up.
Nice.
Yep.
And it doesn't cost me anything to get my prosthetic.
Yeah, and if you just want a basic prosthetic leg, doesn't do anything special, then yep, that's full free.
Nice.
So with his cybercom ears, he can only hear other cybercom?
That's the only way you guys can communicate with me now is cybercoms.
No, I know. I don't have one. That's why I'm wondering.
Oh.
I think you can text.
You can send a cybercom to like a phone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've
yeah.
established before that you could, voice call them
text.
or whatever, yeah,
Mhm.
or just send a text, yeah.
Okay. But like, unless I'm doing that, he literally can't
Text
hear
me. Just text me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
No.
Olivia, you should invest in some cybercoms.
Why should I spend money just because he wouldn't spend money? That doesn't make any sense.
Or we could all learn sign language.
It'd be inconvenient to have to like whip out your phone to just like say something to him.
Like a walkie-talkie.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what I had to do before, but
Or it could be really convenient. Then you don't have to talk to Garrett.
I think it's probably also not like you can't hear, period. I think it's just really, really bad hearing.
Right.
So, yeah, if you guys are sitting around in the van, Olivia can yell in your ear and you'll hear her.
but I can also whisper
Right.
and he can't hear me.
yes.
Oh my God, this is going to give Garrett so many excuses to just be like grandpa.
Yeah. He's just going to play wild card every time just because we didn't tell him otherwise.
What was that?
Yeah, exactly.
I need to get you like a megaphone, like old timey megaphone. For your ear.
fine. I get Joe.
That's for the rest of us.
One of the old timey hearing aids that like Mozart had to wear or whatever.
Yeah, this one. The horns.
And Garrett, so the rest of your injuries were just bruises and battered body. So that'll heal with time. So you can drop down your harm clock all the way.
Sick.
If he has time.
But once you're feeling a little better and feeling up to it, do you have hustling to do?
Oh, do I ever? Yeah, I've got 3 different things to do. I've got debt collection, brokering deals, and addictive substances.
Sounds good.
11 plus
Nice.
whatever. Doesn't matter. Profit from each of the jobs. So debt collection. A couple burly fuckers collect some outstanding debts. I get a gear. Brokering deals. I arrange for the right people to meet each other. I get a cred. Addictive substances. I get an intel. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Pretty good starting point.
Yes.
Mhm.
Feel good about that.
Last time you rolled the hustling move, you did get a result, which was somebody is out of pocket. You had
Right.
foobarred one of the jobs. So since you did roll obviously quite well this time, I'm not going to have it complicate things. But what I think will happen is just on your debt collection job, you're speaking to the client and you get the whiff that you just missed a one collections agent who was here also
Ooh.
trying to collect on these debts.
That's dicey.
So fortunately you rolled well.
So what, does my like 1 clock go up or something?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
So if this omni-national equity clock goes all the way up, is this going to affect Garrett or all of us?
Depends who's with me.
I know. It's like, this clock looks like it's for all of
Yeah.
us.
I think it probably primarily Garrett, but you guys by happening to be in the same room at the time.
Yeah.
They did get pictures of your faces.
Guilty by association.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I guess Tiss and Bunk in particular, since you guys busted into their house.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Mhm. Anything else going on in Garrett's head? Anything on your mind? Anything you got going on?
Garrett wants to like, he's feeling a little like wary about getting his ass kicked again. So he wants to like hire some extra muscle. So he wants to just like hire a strong looking guy to like
Sure.
hang around.
But we're not good enough for you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe just in case, right? Some really big, like intimidating looking dude, right?
No, I approve.
That way, if things are getting to be a little dicey, then, maybe we can push our luck a bit farther before we're facing consequences, right?
Sure. Whatever you say.
I just showed my hand. Shit.
Yeah.
So spending 1 cred will get you unreliable gang members for muscle. Spending 2 cred will get you professional muscle.
Nice.
And I mean, up from there. But
Tell me what's up from there. I got a lot of cred, Jake. I've been saving it for now.
it doesn't specify any people or any kinds of hired muscle above 2 cred, but we could make something up.
Gin is available for 4.
He's scared of guns now, though.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, that's fine. I mean, professional seems appropriate. That's, that's what he wants, professional muscle. So, let's spend 2 cred on that.
And professional muscle can be a dangerous individual or a competent gang.
A competent gang or a dangerous individual. Let's go dangerous individual.
Yeah, that sounds way
cool.
cooler.
Yeah.
Okay, we can figure out details for them at a later point. Or
Okay.
while we're looking at some of the other people here.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Cool, sounds good. So let's chat with Tiss.
Okay.
Dan, I think you had enough XP for an advancement. Did you end up taking one?
I was just going to drop it into a stat because I'm tired of having negative. Let me just pull up what I dropped it into.
That's fair.
Gonna get beefy like Bunk.
It's not a terrible, like putting it in meat.
It's one you use a surprisingly amount.
I was thinking that or style, but meat sounds good.
Meat makes more sense, I think. You've not proved yourself to be particularly stylish.
No.
Cool, but not stylish.
Okay.
Plus 2 cool. I'm super cool.
In this game, cool is just like keeping your cool. It's not actually being.
It's more about
Cool.
that, yeah.
Either way.
As a journalist, Tiss, how are you feeling about the latest developments in the Axiom story?
Paranoid. Very worried. This all kind of went like I didn't expect to dive so much into like a cult, and that concerns me because I know how much like cults can go off a deep end and end up like sending assassins or murderers after you. So it's kind of a scary story to really be diving into, but we're in it now, so I'm investing fully into it.
In it to win it.
Yeah.
Anything you're getting up to during the downtime here?
I'm going to attempt to get what would you call it? I guess just a film camera, an old school film camera. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so you had talked about wanting to find a mechanical, non-electronic film camera that presumably would continue to work during a blackout in order to try to get some shots of whatever these angels are.
And I was thinking, I probably know like all these old school reporters that have like retired or whatever, and they tended to collect all these, tricks of the trade, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking maybe one of them would have it.
Yeah, you chat up some of your contacts, and the film camera itself is not too hard to find. That's, like you say, something that a lot of collectors or just nostalgic people might have. Mm-hmm. The hard part is the film.
That's true.
Film isn't manufactured anymore, and anything is either expired or long, exposed ages ago, right, to light leaks or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you keep doing your research, you put up some feelers, and eventually you get an idea here. One of your contacts is able to send you a manifest from a cadaverous storage facility. Oh. One of the very original ones, built during the setback to keep items recovered from the flooding while they rebuilt the city. There are thousands of units like this throughout the city that were never claimed or simply forgotten about. And this one in particular is listed as containing old film photography equipment, and most importantly is environmentally controlled. So assuming everything is in order, the film should be well preserved.
How do you get something from there? Do I have to claim that I owned it before?
That's a possibility that you might be able to go through, the bureaucracy at Cadabra specifically. But yeah, you usually have to be able to prove in some way that this item belonged to you.
Okay, so robbery it is. Got it.
Yeah, the other option would be robbery. These Cadabra storage facilities, especially one that's old and forgotten like this, it shouldn't be like protected or manned in any way. It'll likely be locked and secured. The most difficult thing will just be getting to it physically. They're deep in the honeycombs underneath the street level. And, they're usually, you can imagine just a wall of all these honeycomb-shaped storage units, and there's not really catwalks or anything. They're usually accessed by drone. So it might involve some, physical challenge.
Yeah, gonna have to get my spelunking gear out.
Mm-hmm. I have one idea. Just because that sounds super dangerous. There's probably a guy that you could hire to find this one thing for you that's going to go in there and find a bunch of things for like different people. Like maybe you would have a contact that is like a spelunker, as you said, who goes into these cadabra facilities, and you could like pay them to get it for you.
It's definitely a thing, yeah, that someone out there is doing, because there's a lot of potentially valuable stuff in there that's just sitting there. So
I like the idea of hiring someone, but I also like the idea of going with them. Because then I'd be able to see like some other cool stuff. I'd be like, hey, maybe I could use that.
Get some good footage for sure. You could pay them a little more to be like your guide.
Sure. I like the sound of that. Let's do that.
Is anybody else going to come with you, or just you and the guide?
I don't know. Depends if anyone's interested. Like Bunk, there might be some old school like DJ stuff in there. Or Olivia, there might be like a dead bird.
Sweet. Oh, man. I mean, this sounds like one of those things that's better the less people who are doing it.
Yeah, less chance of failure.
Yeah, I'll leave this one to you and your boy.
All right.
Okay.
I've named him Big Slice.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And now you have to say it, Jake.
Big Slice.
Yeah, he's a chunky boy for a spelunker, but
How does he
he's
fit
agile.
down all those tubes?
Just gravity.
Gravity.
He only goes
You
down.
put yourself in the tube, and eventually you'll come out the other side.
Oh,
He's got very strong arms, I guess.
Sounds good.
Oh, if that's the way I'd describe it.
Yeah, let's not get too caught up on Big Slice.
Oh, he's a character.
Yeah, so I think we'd call that 2 cred as well, if you want to, like, if you're not making any other special arrangement with him and you want access to what's in there.
Yep. 2 sounds good. I'm rolling in it right now. I think I have 11.
11, wow.
Yeah.
Should have made it more expensive.
So I think you could probably roll a fast talk style, and we'll see kind of how well your negotiations with this gentleman goes.
I got an 8.
He negotiates basically just that he gets some of the spoils, so to speak. You know, you get first dibs on the photography stuff, but if there's other valuable items in there, that you guys will split it evenly.
Oh, I don't care. Yeah, whatever.
Sure. Sounds good. So yeah, you and Big Slice head down to the street level and, you know, into the subway systems to get access to the lower levels. The honeycomb is where the storage facility is. It's right above the waterfront. So it's this huge cavernous chamber with massive support pillars. And then just all along one wall are these hexagonal little units. Many of them are like empty, that are just a support structure. But then there's ones that have the little storage units in them.
All right.
Every sound in here echoes like crazy throughout this huge concrete room. And you can hear, you know, dripping of water and rushing of water below you. But Big Slice, he knows what he's doing. He's a professional. And you guys are able to get in and crack open the container. And sure enough, you're able to find in a little like sealed box the photography equipment and the film. And I don't know if you've used film cameras at all before, but you're pretty sure that it's intact and will work the way you want it to.
Excellent. Anything else cool in here?
You just have to find development equipment now.
Yeah, that'll be the other side of it. There could be something else cool in here. Do you want a gear or an intel or something you can just sell for cred?
Gear would be good. I don't get a
Sure.
lot of gear when I'm playing, so.
Cool. So we'll give you a gear.
Sweet.
And nice thing about that is it can be pretty wide range of things since it's just in this old storage facility here.
As long as he can and Big Slice can carry it together.
That's true. It has to be like, can fit in a backpack.
Anything else that Tiz is getting up to?
I don't think so. I think I just want to be ready, and maybe I'll try taking like a photo or two just to see if I can actually get it to work and then attempt to develop something.
Sure. Yeah, we'll say you found 2 rolls of film. So you've got one that you can use for testing out. And you take some selfies and some shots of these guys. And, and yeah, you find someone who has the chemicals you need to develop them. And yeah, it seems to work.
Nice. I make a little, sorry guys, the RV, the bathroom's not going to be in use anymore. It's now my black room. So you have to go number 2 outside.
We have a pretty big RV. Can't you use that upstairs bunk that Garrett sleeps in?
No, that's where Garrett sleeps.
So where did any of you go to the bathroom?
Outside.
I mean, in the bathroom.
In the great outdoors.
Well,
Actually, yeah. From what I've learned about RVs, you don't actually
wanna
use
use it,
the
yeah.
bathroom unless it's
an
like an emergency, basically. Yeah. Use
It stays
restrooms,
in there.
public restrooms.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we are at a RV camp or whatever, so they
Yeah,
probably have one for us to use.
They got an outhouse. We can live that hover life.
I'm glad we got into which bathrooms we're using.
It's important.
Very important.
What are the poop mechanics of this game, Jake?
You know, you don't ever talk about it in our RPGs, but you have to at least consider it.
Yeah,
Everybody
everybody
poops.
All right, Olivia. For starters, did Olivia get an advancement?
Yeah, I did level up. I went with +1 synth. So now I went from 0 to 1.
Good call, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things where I was like, oh, I think it makes sense that she and Bunk are working together and trying to make this a rideable laser gun or whatever it is. I'm down to try it anyway.
I'm picturing like a pony now. Just with the
With
lasers.
just laser eyes, yeah.
Anything on Olivia's mind? I know she wasn't totally on the same page as all your teammates in the last mission. Is that weighing on her at all?
For sure it does. I mean, I think like she kind of has mid-grade depression right now, unfortunately. Like it just feels like everything in Olivia's life has never been very good. And, you know, these are supposed to be like kind of her chosen friends, and then they did something kind of way too crazy, even in her opinion. So she doesn't quite know how to handle that. So I think, yeah, during the day she helps Bunk, but in the evening she's been doing some lonely rides. Getting in Hank the Tank, the gas guzzler, the blood guzzler. Just driving around Vantel, seeing everything.
Sure. How are the Boyds?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they mostly stay with her, but you know, they haven't done anything super interesting. Although I think they do enjoy it wherever I like end up parking. It's kind of like a new place to kind of explore.
Yeah. All right. Well, you mentioned, going out for some drives, and on one such long nighttime drive, you decided to head towards the coast, trying to make it far enough to get past the giant billboard that is the seawall and past the Sailor Sea Refuge City to catch another unimpeded glimpse of the ocean proper. But before you get too far out, you do stop briefly at a small service station in the city to fill up on gas/blood. To fill up on gas and grab a road snack. You're considering your options at the vending machine when you hear Jack cawing behind you. And you turn and just barely catch a look at a small shadowed figure that has slipped in the front door of Hank the Tank.
Okay. Olivia's like, why has it got to be a shadowy figure?
Why are these figures always shadowed?
Yeah.
They can't ever just be fully illuminated.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just buy some soy jerky and some crisps, and I buy a flashlight as well.
Nice.
At the counter. One of those big kind of Maglite ones.
Sure. With your snacks in hand and flashlight, you pop it in the batteries, and you walk back over to the van, and you can hear some clattering inside. And you peek in through the window, and you see a young person inside. In the front seat, taking a screwdriver to a panel on the dashboard beside the steering column.
Oh my God, it's young Garrett. He's traveled back in time.
To warn us.
Some kind of looper situation.
They're wearing a slightly too big, mechanic jumpsuit.
Aw,
They're sporting a swept undercut of dirty blonde hair.
what a cute robber.
Out of the corner of their eyes, they spot you, and they quickly scramble to the far side of the car.
Out of the corner of their eyes, I'm just shining the light right in his face.
Yeah, they kind of panic and scramble to the far side of the car, and they reach and kind of struggle. Actually, there's a holster at their side, but you can quickly tell that it's just a harmless skip tracer toy gun.
I hit my lock, my auto lock on my keys.
Uh-oh. We're diving into child abduction territory.
I'm not going to steal them. I just don't want to run away.
Their eyes go wide when you do that, and you can see them very obviously panicking, but they kind of race back over to the window that you're on and bang on it and go, and you can hear them just muffled through the window. Hey, get away. Sorry, but I'm taking this car. You can't stop me.
I mean, I disagree. I disagree with everything you just said there, kiddo. What's up?
Quip and Jack are in the back seats just cawing like crazy. And
Why you gotta be stealing a girl's van like that? I just hop in the second seat.
stay back, get away from me. And again, they try to like grab this gun and it just falls as they try to grab it and stumble. They don't really respond to your question there. They've backed into the corner again and are trying to keep their distance from you. They look pretty scared in this moment.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I don't want to just abduct this kid, so I'm not going to just start the car or anything. But I go like, hey, man, do you need a ride somewhere or something? Because, I mean, you're not stealing the car, but I can give you a ride.
To another car that you can steal.
Yeah, I mean, I can actually give you some tips. First, don't do it at a gas station where someone's so close to their car.
You want to make maybe a style roll then?
I rolled a 3 plus 0.
Okay. I don't know if we ever established whether the Gastown Sparks had like a particular identifying feature. You know, did they wear a particular bandana or something like that?
No, I don't think we really did. Because there were so many different sects, so it'd be kind of hard to be like, there was like one thing that everybody has.
Maybe you just have a color or something.
Fire red.
I always thought it was yellow. I don't know why.
Or they wear spark plugs as earrings.
I actually like that. Spark plugs as plugs. That's pretty cool.
How did you not know I was in a gang with a spark plug full of ears?
So maybe I think it's more you just kind of recognize the technique as a initiate.
I can tell this is a first level steal.
Exactly. Yeah. Like probably part of the initiation into a lot of the gangs is, you know, steal your first car, right? And you kind of get the sense that maybe this is what this individual is trying to do. But they don't seem swayed by your words. They seem just a little too scared to really digest it that way. They unlock the door behind them and started running out the other side.
Oh, that's crazy. I had the child lock on. So good at doing that. Okay. I just start my car. Wait to see like where he's running towards, and I just kind of start driving that direction. I'm going to follow him.
They're running kind of into the city, back towards the more populated, dense area of town.
Mm-hmm. Before he gets too far into there, I am going to just drive up like next to him and be like, so you're going to be dealing with Gassy Jack or something? What's up, kid?
He stops at that and looks up at you and, how'd you know that?
Oh, man. We all stole a car first time for Gassy Jack. Come on. It's something we all do when we're young.
Yeah, come on.
So what's your problem? Get off my back then.
Well, you were trying to steal my car. That's my problem.
You're following me now.
Yeah. That's what you get for trying to steal my car.
Look, just let me go. I'm sorry. And he starts walking again.
Hey, I know you didn't want to take me up on my tips, but I can at least recommend a good place to steal some nicer cars. Easier marks, if you will. This was Olivia's personal steal spot. She's going to give away.
Sure. Before, he was being pretty obstinate, but, you pass on this little tidbit, this little tip to him, and he seems to think about it and recognize that there's some value to what you've said to him. He's far enough along in his training to recognize that what you're saying is true.
It's good advice.
That's good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's still kind of being an obstinate little teen.
Sure.
But he's like, oh, okay, thanks, I guess. Can I go now?
Hey, man, you can go whenever you want. I just start up my car and I start driving off.
Sure. Through the rear view window, you see him kind of pause and watch as you drive away. And then you turn the corner, and that's the last we'll see of him. Anything else in the meantime for Olivia?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean, I think she's just using this time to, one, do a little bit of self-care, get away from everybody, and to learn how to help out a little more in the hacking situation, because she really wants to learn how to get her cyberware working, quote unquote, properly.
Right. Cool. Sounds good. So to that end, let's check in with Bunk.
YOLO.
Yellow.
Hello, amigos.
Yellow.
Did Bunk get an advancement this time around?
He did not.
Oh, no.
I got up to 6 XP.
No, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry for your loss. It's quite all right.
Bunk was always kind of a bit uncomfortable with the Axiom, in particular since his first encounter. I don't think this mission made things any better. So no. What's on your mind?
He still can't get the passing angel axiom out of his head. Specifically, the kind of image of the blue angel that he saw. Deep inside, like the idea that this like is a blue angel sent from above as a punishment for man for having too much technology or whatever. He knows it's all like nonsense, but he feels like now he really needs to get to the bottom of this just to kind of clear his own brain that there's definitely no supernatural shenanigans going on. So yeah, he's definitely up for helping Tiss out with his mission to get some photographs. He thinks that's a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think he also wants to take a look at the sphere bot that we acquired and see if he can start to, what's it called? Backwards. What's that called?
Reverse engineer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to reverse engineer it.
Sure. You can tell it's going to be a difficult project for sure, the sphere bot, but you're getting to work on it and you've got Olivia helping you out.
Hacker buddies.
Yeah.
Deciphering some of the strange technology and woefully uncommented code feels like it's a lot of trial and error, but at the same time, you don't know how much trial and error you can do without possibly damaging or accidentally setting something off. So it's slow going, but again, with help from Olivia and you've reached out to others in the business that you can trust, you're starting to make some headway.
Nice.
After some time, you're getting actually pretty close to completion, but you've reached a bit of a roadblock, which is some of the physical connections. They're too sensitive and too delicate to 3D print. So you've had to make a few trips to a local electronics dealer that you've worked with before to actually buy some, physical little components that you can use for this. Do you want to briefly describe an owner of an electronics shop for us?
Sort of a belligerent older woman.
What's her name?
Pam.
That's a perfect belligerent name.
I imagine Pam is this, like hunched over, wrinkled old lady with, the tiny little glasses, and you're used to working with belligerent old people.
Wow. You can say that again.
So you have a connection with Pam pretty quickly.
Hey, Pam, I have a friend named Garrett.
He likes bingo too.
That's a real power couple there. You're about to make one of these trips out to Pam's shop to pick up some components. Is anybody coming with you?
Yeah, I think Olivia is open with that.
Totally.
Have you convinced Garrett to come along for the possible setup? Or
I do try to convince him. I don't know if he is convinced, but I'm like, hey, Garrett, I have this friend. Her name is Pam. She's around your age.
Not interested.
No. Yeah, Garrett likes older women.
That's right. Yeah.
Older than Garrett? Okay.
3 digits are nothing. Come on. Thanks anyway.
He's a grave robber. Yeah.
Grave robber.
He's already 1 foot in himself, but
no, he's just trying to get their inheritance.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say that he's actually just in it for the what's that called? A gold digger.
Yeah.
He's just a gold digger.
He's a gold digger. Yeah. No, Garrett's gonna hang back with his hired muscle and like play some poker and try to win some money off of his muscle.
Sounds good.
To win his money back.
Get money off your own hired muscle. All right.
Yeah.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, like if you win a lot from them, they're just going to hate you.
Yeah.
Or they'll be stuck working for him because they don't have any money.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or it'll hinder the mission in pursuit of financial gain.
I don't think you're going to have any time to level up.
How many more times do you have to do that before you can get an advancement? 3?
3.
Okay, so Garrett's going to fuck us over 3 times on this mission.
Okay, anyway. So it sounds like Bunk and Olivia are heading to the shop.
Yeah.
Pam's shop is tucked away in van through a kind of tight alley and down a steep, narrow stairwell beside a small neon sign. The shop is under a karaoke bar with laughably insufficient soundproofing, and the thumping of bass and drunken revelry necessitates everybody to speak at a half shout. The tiny shop is packed tight with hundreds of small bins of resistors, capacitors, switches, and the like, arranged seemingly randomly, but Pam is always able to find exactly what you need. You descend the stairs and walk into the shop, the bell above the door barely audible over the noise above, and are immediately hit with the sight of Pam slumped onto the counter, face down in a pool of blood that slowly drips from the counter onto the floor.
You just had us name her.
Pam!
Just to murder her right in front of our eyes.
Pam, no. God.
I'm like, is this the person you're trying to hook up Garrett with?
Bunk runs over to her and checks her pulse, and yeah.
You see a clean bullet hole in the chest and check for life signs, even though you know it's hopeless, and no, she is well dead.
Well, I'm going to look for a video recorder anywhere. She's got to have something.
Either way, when Bunk runs around the back of the counter to see if Pam's all right, he sees that the point of sale terminal, the screen is on, and there's a word processor window open with a note. And the note reads, "Bring me the Sentry or I'll come and get it." And there's a time and an address, and it is signed Nickel.
Oh my God, of course.
Oh. Well, that answers one of our questions.
Well, I guess I don't have to look for that tape, I say.
How much do you care about Pam?
Well, I'm going to grab some stuff. Olivia just starts filling her pockets with whatever electric, all the LEDs she can fit in there.
Have some respect. A woman has died.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
Bunk is just totally speechless. Like, he has no idea what to say. He's kind of just got like an arm on Pam, like, holy shit. Just because I needed some electronic equipment from Pam, Nickel killed her.
No, I think she killed her because you killed the other one.
She didn't even mention Blunderbuss. She just wants the sphere.
She might not even know.
She's a company person. Like,
that's true.
She never gave a shit about anybody. Like, she murdered our first client for no reason. She murdered Garrett's client for no reason. She just likes murdering people that we know.
That's a good point. She does have like a long list of murder.
Luckily, you know a murderer too. It's time to call in Tiz. The murderer.
The other murderer we know, right?
Fight murderers with murderers.
No matter the cost.
But yeah, I mean, that's why we shouldn't let her die in vain, and at very least try to get as much info as possible off this droid.
Yeah. While Olivia is gathering all the necessary parts, I think
And
Bunk
extras.
is... Yeah, and more. Do I know if Pam had any family or anything?
Her family?
Or a will? Did she have a will?
This is not the time for puns.
Hey, I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
I feel like Olivia is doing that in the game.
Yeah, she's trying to just make like a very awkward situation. Like,
it's not awkward.
It's not awkward. It's horrible and sad. Awkward is like when you're like going in a hallway and
like somebody farts.
That wasn't where I was going, but sure.
That's not the only thing that can be awkward. An awkward situation is going with your friend to the store you've never been with and finding somebody murdered there. That's also awkward.
I swear it's not usually like this.
Yeah.
Man, it's dead in here.
Olivia's like hitting the bell on the counter. Like, how do I get some service around here?
Oh my God.
I'm just trying to cheer you up.
It's not working.
I guess she's off the clock.
Wow.
I'm not even the one saying all of this. I just said family once.
Anyway, Bunk is sad. He's trying to figure out if there's any next of kin that can be notified.
I don't think they had like a big family or anything. I don't think they were still married, but they probably have a kid out there somewhere.
A dirty little blonde-haired kid? I think that could be him.
Wait, you say they, so she has like a husband or something as well that's still alive?
Well, it sounded like he may not be still alive.
A husband.
Oh my God.
You guys got all mad at me.
I'm mad at everybody.
She never talked about her husband, but you know that she had a kid that she was pretty proud of.
Okay. She has a son that she's very proud of. I'm going to go tell him about what happened. And I'm going to go tell him that I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Like, this isn't going to go unanswered. Mark, or whatever your name is.
You could just call the police and be like, I found someone murdered here.
I assume because Nichols and Wall, they don't do very much.
No, I don't call them.
With your personal business done and now a pretty clear threat from Nickel, you guys meet back up at the RV and discuss what to do. The meeting time that she left in the note is tomorrow night. And the coordinates are at a kind of old construction site somewhere in the city.
Well, I think Olivia's going to take this night to do a little stakeout drive of that area.
I mean, Nickel just wants the sphere, right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can reprogram the sphere to be a bomb and then give it to her.
Or
Perfect plan.
you 3D print a replica and then we put a bomb in that.
I think it's pretty big to do that overnight, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I think we should just do the real deal. I mean, we don't really need it. It's more just, it's like a fancy droid. It's like a Ferrari robot.
Do we know what it does yet, though?
Laser things.
Laser things. It pops out its legs. It walks around. It can roll around. It can laser shit.
Like it's just a
Sphere stuff.
It's just
an
a
attack
sentry, basically. Yeah.
It's a weapon. Yeah.
A smart sentry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if you can program it to see, like, we can find a picture of Nickel and program it in and be like, this is your target.
Yeah. Laser this person.
Only this person.
Yeah. I like that. Let's do that.
So you weren't quite done with the work on the drone, and now you're on a really tight time crunch here. Do you want to get it ready by the meeting tomorrow?
We did get a lot of parts.
Yeah, you got all the parts you need. It's just you're kind of rushed now. So you can do the...
I'm willing to throw some money at this.
I don't know that that's going to help.
Yeah, we hire like an even better programmer.
Oh my...
Whoa.
Hey, come on. We're standing
So
right here.
I start showing the droid Tiss's picture.
I'm going to hire a better journalist to cover this story.
In order to program the drone and like do the final steps here, it would be a synth roll. But if you want to do it in your rushed state here to get it done by tomorrow night, I'll be giving you a -1 on it. But Olivia can try to help.
I can try to assist. I've got a +2 in Bunk.
You got a +2 Bunk.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other options? Just not having it ready in time, basically, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's synth it up. All right, I rolled a 7. I got +1 synth.
Okay. I got a 6 +2 Bunk.
So I got up to a 9, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to, with the new components that you have, finally interface properly and crack the final steps of the code so that you can actually inject your own code. But, it's not perfect. You think it's probably not as complex as it used to be. You can't give it as complex of commands as it could understand before. But yeah, move, shoot, don't shoot this person, that kind of thing. You think you can probably manage. And you couldn't get the neural, like the remote link to work. So it's just the pre-programmed function.
Okay. I think we can work with that.
Sounds good.
I really feel like she's just going to try to murder us, though, like, regardless.
Well, yeah.
No, for sure. That's one of the reasons why I kind of want to do one of my night drives around that construction site and see what I can see.
Yeah, let's see if there's any, like, weird vantage points that they could, like... She obviously likes snipers.
That night, you take a drive down, and it's an old construction site anyway, where the work is currently stopped. They basically dug out the basement levels for the foundation, but haven't built up yet. So it's kind of a pit in the ground.
It's an underground castle. I remember these.
Yeah, it's one of those. In the construction site itself, there's some vehicles, a truck, and a cement mixer and that kind of thing. And there's one of those little portable offices. And there's a crane that's currently... Well, there's a crane.
That's currently
existing.
Yeah.
But Tiss's kind of fear there is realized is that there are, several high-rises right around this lot. There would be lots of vantage places for her to set up a sniper or something like that.
This sounds like a terrible place that's going to result in all of our deaths.
Place.
We could leave a note there and tell her, like, no, we're meeting here. Then we pick a new vantage point.
We can do whatever we want. Like, we have the sphere.
Yeah.
Like, she has nothing.
Exactly? What is her threat?
She's going to murder other people that we know.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know anybody, so that's fine.
Yeah, you're going to find that little kid, like, dead in your van.
That would be crazy. I don't even know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how?
QuickBox Kyle, though, is like,
Oh, no.
he's dumb.
My one true friend.
The note that Nickel left said that if you don't bring it to her, she's going to come and get it from you. That
Oh,
was her
right.
threat.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, we can leave a note that says, come get it here.
Yeah, we're agreeing to that term.
Set up our own location.
Like, we would rather you pick up.
Yeah. We don't deliver. Sorry. Says the note.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've got a little more planning to do. You've managed to reprogram the sphere bot, and you've scoped out the location, decided, nah,
Not for me.
not for me.
Yeah.
Location. You send a message back to Nickel with the location that you want to meet instead. During your research, Bunk, when you were kind of researching the drone and trying to find some information online from your other hacker compatriots, if anybody's encountered this kind of technology before, you eventually do get a video from old archival footage buried on an old epistle server somewhere. And it's a body cam footage from an operation that some of their security forces had run in Southern America many years ago, back during the Equatorial Wars. And we see grainy video of a once beautiful city, cobblestone roads and buildings painted with soft pastel colors, surrounded by lush tropical forest. However, now the roads are cracked and blown out, the buildings scorched and collapsing into a long, deep trench where thousands of kilometers of cable once crashed to the earth after the space elevator was destroyed, leaving a deep scar across the world. The camera view peeks out from behind a blasted wall on the rooftop of a building, looking up and down the trench which disappears over the horizon in each direction. The operator turns around and we see a young Bailey. Still as impossibly massive and intimidating as always, but with softer, youthful eyes. Bailey is dressed in a green combat uniform stretched tight over their muscles and is rooting through a backpack, eventually producing a bottle and a syringe. They fill the syringe and move towards their arm when the operator speaks, a woman's voice. "Do you really have to take that? Aren't you tough enough already?" Bailey looks just above the camera at the wearer's eyes, smiles, and speaks in a deep, hoarse voice. "Oh, are you worried about me?" The woman replies, "Shut up, whatever," making a rude gesture from her gloved hand. Bailey continues, "I'm fine, I can handle it. They got rid of a lot of the side effects in the new batch." We hear the woman sigh as she grabs the camera off her chest, holds it high, and does a slow pan of their surroundings, showing off the forest and eventually settling on herself, at this time sporting a short mop of metallic red hair, but it is unmistakably Nickel. Surrounded by a beautiful green paradise, and I'm stuck sharing it with this lump of meat. Bailey gives her a playful punch, nearly toppling the small woman, when the area is suddenly rocked by an explosion. Birds flock from their trees, and the camera tumbles as the building collapses underneath them, spinning wildly and revealing glimpses of falling rubble and plumes of dust and smoke before crashing to the ground. The cracked camera lens faces a lovely blue sky, partially covered by dirt, and we hear a cacophony of gunfire and explosions. Before long, the sounds begin to fade, and the camera footage begins to warp and go staticky. An eerie blue glow begins to creep into the edges of the video, penetrated by a sudden blinding flash of red light before the playback suddenly stops. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you for listening to the House of Bob. You give us a review on Apple Podcasts if you're enjoying the show. You can tell a friend or hit us up on social media. We're at the House of Bob on most platforms. You can also watch on our YouTube channel or join our Discord server. All the links for those are in the show notes. If you'd like to support the show financially, we have an Etsy where we have a lot of cool RPG zines and dice trays and things like that. We also have our Patreon with bonus content, director's commentary, one-shots, and a monthly blog post of RPG content. I'd like to thank our existing Patreon members. That's Volt, Tom Wesley, Mike from the Tales from the Glass Carded World, Scooter Emerson, Robert, Ray Kearney, Mark Boykin, Mary Margaret, Luke Conroy, Kieran Duffy, Keith Haddad, Josh Jordan, Jessica, Luckett12, and Jessica Colvin. If you've had a name change or I'm pronouncing it wrong, send us an email so we can fix it for next time. Artwork for this episode was by me, Jake. I did it. Audio production by Alex of Astronomic Audio, and the music was by John Julius, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution. Thanks for listening. Have a great day and roll on.
Or is it?
Or is it?
Wow, wow.
No, it is.